Listening to the dulcet tones of me clearing my throat. Is anybody out there? I sing that in jest because of course there's not. It will be 2011 before I ever acquire my niche. Why, hello. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna fix this so it's not automatic anymore. I like it better that way, it's less distracting. Bloop. 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 So, what's everybody doing? This is going to be a just chatting. My little art area is in a turmoil, and my cameras on which to show me making art are in a state of craptacularness. So I'm just going to do a just chatting stream. I may bust out the negative marble. Is that what I want to call it? Oh, I need to get my phone on the right thing. Speak amongst your non-existent self for a moment, please. And so, transitions lenses, they transition from the top of my head. Got to search for thoughtstorms because that's the only way to find it. Okay. And we will test the ta-da! Yay. Alright. I say just chatting. I've been making a playlist. I started that similar to... I've been making a man with blonde hair and a tan. Where are my Rocky Horror Picture Show heads? Oh, kids and people and other sorts of entities. Anyway, I've been making a playlist of things to react to. Some of them I left unwatched. I put them in there and didn't watch them. If that is a clearer way of saying that. I've been awake about an hour or so. I don't know why. I'm a little muddle-headed today. Some I'm going to react to because I haven't seen them. Some I'm going to react to because I have. Some of them are oldies that I haven't seen in a long time. That's what I thought we might get up to this time. So let's see if my technology... Hello there. Wayne's World. Excellent. Party down. And I was just glancing at this playlist. This looks like a good one to react to. I'm used to that music for somebody else.
This is Marge, Hellenberger.
And for Pipsical Kengio, this is a Kubich, talk you.
Oh, Kubich!
No close off a podcast.
Where have you been, man? You said you would be here for the game.
Living in a blitzkrieg.
You've been living in a blitzkrieg?
Yeah, I eat the bomb for breakfast.
Okay, but we had a game at 7 and we were going to do a 3-man thing and you're just getting here? It's already over, man.
Traffic is so bad that don't catch me starting on podcast.
Well, aren't you... Wait a minute. Last I knew of it, you were getting around town on a moped, just going through all the trucks. Did you end up buying a car or a truck or something?
Yeah, but I put that moped in the back of the car.
Oh, what kind of car did you get?
A moped.
You gonna... Wait, that's not a car.
That's wheels.
Who makes it?
Datsun.
Is you got a Datsun moped?
Yacht.
It's a car.
Yacht.
Did you build it yourself?
No, yacht.
You got a yacht.
Yes.
It's a yacht. Oh, you're saying you sailed here
Yacht.
on a yacht.
Yes.
We are miles from anyone.
That's why I think I'm so luch.
It took you a long time to get here because so you put your, let me understand this. You put your moped on the back of your yacht made by Datsun, sailed as close as you could get to here, and then just, I don't know, walked?
Yeah, same old song.
Okay. That's what I figured.
I gotta go.
Okay, see you later, Kubich.
Bast. Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom. What'd I miss?
Nothing, Matt.
So, Pistol Shrimps Radio is a greatness. Oh, hey. There's an entire episode I should react to. And I feel uniquely qualified because the entire episode was devoted to me. And I'm not kidding. Some of you might know Matt Gorley now from Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. He's been the podcast brains, really, of making all that work and work well and work comedically. But he's also toe-to-toe just as funny as any guest they have on, or Conan himself. I'm a bigger fan of Matt Gorley than I am of Conan. I'm a big fan of Conan's. Anyway, he and his friend Mark McConville, for a long time, they were a couple of years, maybe 3. They called women's rec league basketball in LA, and they know nothing about basketball. They know nothing about very little about sports in general, nothing about basketball. They probably picked something up calling the games, but Matt's girlfriend, then wife, they got married while they were still calling the games, I think. She was on the team. Aubrey Plaza was on it. In fact, Aubrey, I think, was instrumental in getting that women's rec league started, or at least, becoming popular. And it was it's a great podcast to listen to. Go back and listen to it. It's funny. It's not going to be dated because they're not talking about current events except for local sports. And so this animation, which is cool, I very much like the idea of taking funny podcasts, funny audio material, and animating it. I'm a big fan of that, and if God help me, if AI makes it possible to animate things a lot easier, and that genie's not going to be forced back into the bottle, yeah, I've always wanted to do my own improv show, and then animate it. So I might have to look into that possibility. But anyway, the first character on here, Kubich, if I can find I only listen to podcasts on my phone. I honestly don't know how to get to a podcast on my to the podcast I want on my computer. I'm sorry. I wish podcasts were all on YouTube. I mean, you could still make them an audio medium. People can shut their eyes. There are blind people. There are people like myself who can't ever have the right glasses for the right moment. I would like it to be convenient to find, like YouTube. Took me forever to just find my playlist. Yeah, there's some things I don't know why I put them on this list. Here we go. Here's a channel I like a lot.
Hi, I'm Henry Segerman. This is the Pi over 4 polyhedron. This 3D print was designed by Matthias Gunner based on a construction due to Sidler. So it's a polyhedron. It's made out of flat faces that meet along straight lines. But it's a pretty complicated shape. So why would someone come up with this, and what is it for? Often people think about regular polyhedra, like these types. All of the faces are the same as each other.
Are you not pausing? Oh, that was... Oh, that's weird. Okay. Not a story worth telling. Let me... Oh, dang it. I'm pretty sure that was muted for you. You might could have heard it through the microphone, but I doubt it. Well, I may bring back the subject of Pistol Shrimps Radio another time. Ooh. I know, it's amateur hour. Alright, so this guy's channel is pretty cool. He's a mathematician primarily. And he works in three-dimensional geometry. See any chatters? Hey, by the way, my name's Keith. This is thoughtstorms. I'm glad you could join me watching the video on demand. Or live, maybe. 5 o'clock Texas time, Tuesday and Saturday, and usually Thursday. Sometimes I will take a Thursday off. Not terribly often, I hope. Anyway, yes, hello. Hello. So I'm going to be looking like this a lot because I can see what's going out here on this monitor. On this monitor, I can only see what you're seeing behind my pentagonal camera view. So that's why you're going to see me doing that a lot. So let's see what this guy's working on. I don't remember this one. I'm sure I watched it.
Often people think about regular polyhedra, like these types. All of the faces are the same as each other, all of the edges are the same as each other, everything is symmetric. You can also make less symmetric polyhedra, where there are different kinds of faces and edges. On this die, for example, you can see that the angle at this edge is much shallower than the angle at this edge. Okay, so this pi over 4 polyhedron is even less regular. It's not even convex. There are holes and indentations all over it. However, there is something a bit regular about the edges. The angles between the faces at each edge are, well, here's a set square. We get 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here, 90 degrees but concave here, even though there are all of these strange shapes everywhere, the angles are all 90 degrees except for this one edge here, which has an angle of 45 degrees. And it turns out that in order to make a polyhedron that has 90 degrees everywhere apart from at one edge, you have to do something as complicated as this.
That is
It's
so
worth
cool.
imagining what you might do to try to make a simpler polyhedron. Two edges with 45-degree angles is easy. Just make a prism out of a 45, 45, 90 triangle. Next, you could try to remove one of those 45-degree angles without introducing any new edges that didn't have 90 degrees at them, but it's not so obvious how to do this. But that's what Sidler does in this paper from 1965. Matthias Gerner followed Sidler's instructions and, as far as we know, made the first physical version of such a polyhedron. You can also follow Matthias's version of the construction at his webpage, link in the description. Why was Sidler thinking about this kind of thing? Well, it comes from generalizing things like this. This is the Dewdney-McElroy dissection. You can cut an equilateral triangle along straight lines into 4 pieces and rearrange them.
Dewdney-Mc. Trying to think what word it is he's saying. D-U-O, Duodeni.
To make a square. This is known as scissors congruence. The equilateral triangle and the square are congruent to each other if you're allowed to get out your scissors and cut it into pieces before you rearrange and make the other one. In fact, the Wallace-Bolyai-Goween theorem says that for any 2 polygons which have the same area, you can always cut one up with scissors and rearrange to make the other one. Here's a web page where you can play with this yourself. In 1900, David Hilbert asked if the same
Oh, look
thing
at
was
that.
true in 3 dimensions. That is,
Hang on. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. More. They make it so hard to find stuff. Let's make image of. This image is in the public domain. That's not what I'm looking for. Click anywhere to start drawing the initial polygon. I can't read. Oh, I guess that's. Click anywhere to start drawing the terminal polygon. Let's see if I can. Oh, it started me over. At least I can read the text now. Anywhere to start the terminal polygon. See, yep, you see that. I need to turn that off. Anybody knows how to turn that off on Opera browser, let me know. Because it's a pain in the prostate. That's swicky, swicky, sweet. Just right in your browser, that is mighty cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's good shit, man. That is good stuff. I like that a lot.
is if you have 2 polyhedra which have the same volume, is there a way to cut one of them up with planes into pieces which can be reassembled to make the other one? Hilbert's student Dane proved that volume is not enough. So, for example, there's no way to cut up a cube into pieces and reassemble those pieces to make a regular tetrahedron which has the same volume. Dane showed this by introducing what is now known as the Dane invariant. So the volume of a polyhedron doesn't change when you cut up and reassemble, and the Dane invariant is another thing that doesn't change when you do that same process. So to show that there's no way to make a tetrahedron from a cube or vice versa, all you have to do is just show that they have different Dane invariants, which they do. A quick aside, we shouldn't really be naming things after people. For one, the name Dane doesn't tell you anything about the invariant. If the Dane invariant were named something like the length-angle invariant, then you would at least get a hint about it from the name. Things are often named after the wrong person. For example, L'Hopital's rule was almost certainly proved by Bernoulli. The Mandelbrot set was first studied by Brooks and Metelsky, and Pascal's triangle was studied by the Indian mathematician Pingala almost 2,000 years before Pascal. You might get the impression from looking around at all the names of things that mathematics is only done by, and there's only 4 dead white men.
I don't know, I just heard something in my apartment. I couldn't. Oh, hey! Heath Jackson! Oh boy, hang on. I can't read you on my reading screen. I thought I'd addressed that. Gotta wake my phone up the right way to read what you said. Hello, it's your boy Heath. Heath. Coach's Barbecue, ladies and gentlemen. Go eat Coach's Barbecue, although I haven't yet. I don't get over to Weatherford as often as I wish. What is good, my friend? I'll tell you what's good on my end. You know my brother Peter, Spam Jelly on what do you call him? On Twitch. Well, on YouTube anyway. He had his own channel. He was featured once on YouTube. Anyway, he was just in the hospital for quite a while, and he had 2 brain surgeries. He had a stroke, didn't realize it. He was out of it enough to not really realize that it was something he should go to the hospital about. Fortunately, my sister, I don't know how she found out. She may have just popped by, I don't know, but she manhandled him to the hospital, and it's a good thing. Yeah, he ended up having to have 2 different brain surgeries, and now he is speaking a little slowly. He's a little weak on his right side, but he's doing much, much, much better. And so that's what's happening in my neck of the woods. You might have just come by to say hello and move on, but that's fine. I just realized you can see my projector. Let's briefly talk about that, shall we? I'm really sort of on the fence about this. I'm on the fence about a lot of things. This projector you can see glowing over my shoulder cost me nothing. It's not an advertiser, and I don't think I would advertise for them if it was. So since I'm going to be sort of talking them down, it's Jowlurk, which is a funny word, Jowlurk. So jowls and lurk, strange. And I think I saw their logo, same name, on a construction site where they were building some kind of commercial building. Anyway, ordered it from Amazon. It gets there, and this model has, on the remote, has power focusing, which is useful because you can kind of get where you want to be and all, and then focus it where you want to be, and you don't have to be. A lot of times they're attached to the ceiling and stuff, so it's a good idea. But this one, I'm gonna quit trying to point to it. This one will not focus. The ring won't turn at all. Somebody who knows their stuff could get that fixed, but so I called them and said, I can't focus it. Is there a trick? Do they clip something down for shipping that I need to remove? No, we'll send you out another one. I said, I really don't want to go to the trouble of going to FedEx and putting it in a box and blah, blah, blah. Even if you're going to pay for that, I don't feel like going to the trouble when it's just a focus. No, we can't tech support it. We'll just send you another one. So they sent me another one. And that one's in my room, and it's my TV. So this one I'll quit pointing at. Oh. Thanks for coming away from my mom. It was good to see you, man. Yep. And good food, too. I enjoyed that. It was good seeing the whole family. The whole family. Back to my not that riveting story. So this guy here, I can't focus it, but if I can find a distance that's right, it focuses. So I'm focused on my far wall, which unfortunately includes a glass sliding door to my no escape balcony, ground floor balcony. Didn't think that'd be hard to say. Which is so stupid. When I couldn't open, when the heat had my, there it is. I pointed right this time. Had that door jammed where I could not open it. I tried calling the office. We had worse management back then. They had a voicemail thing that says, "This property is no longer served by this company. Please call some different number. Click." Anyway, I couldn't get out, so I go through those glass doors, and I'm too old to climb over a fence that's about shoulder blade high. Anyway, the light that comes through the vertical blinds makes the white plastic I hung there glow too much to really see it. I could, if this was nighttime or the eclipse, which, by the way, I watched my eclipse from right here. My eclipse. Anyway, so none of that's fascinating exactly, but yeah, that's. And I'm wirelessly sending from my phone to the jowl work to project on the wall past my monitors and stuff. I need to move this hat because it's blocking my view of chat. And I'll put it on for a minute because I gotta take it off soon because it's Texas. It's summer. It's hot. I mean, it's not that hot right now, I don't guess. Hey Google, what is the current heat index?
Right now in Bedford, the heat index is 90.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it had been. I mean, I forget some parts of the world they think 90 is death, but well, 90 degrees Celsius is pretty hot, I will grant you. As always, I don't know how I got on this topic. Well, guess I'll go back to the video here. What's that do? Okay. And what does this do? I think what this does is it supposedly makes the video look better, but it eats more computer bandwidth. Oh, but I think I had it turned on. Maybe some of the troubles I've been having.
History, white men were pretty much the only people who had the privilege to be able to spend their lives doing mathematics. However, the names that we have are the names that we have at the moment. So if you want to look up this invariant, you have to search for the name Dane invariant. In 1965, Sidler proved that the Dane invariant together with the volume make a complete invariant. What
Hey,
that means
Heath,
is
if
that
you can't,
that's all you need.
if he's
If
too
you've got two
quiet or
polyhedra
something,
which
let
have
me
the
know in
same
chat.
volume and the same Dane invariant, whatever that is, then you can definitely get from one to the other by cutting and gluing. The Dane invariant is hard to define simply, but it can be calculated by looking at all of the lengths of the edges of your polyhedra together with the angles at those edges. And it turns out that anything which has angles which are all rational multiples of pi, pi over 2, pi over 3, etc., those polyhedra all have zero Dane invariant. So part of what Sidler has to show to prove this thing is that anything that has zero Dane invariant can be cut up and reassembled as scissors congruent to just a cube. So you started with whatever random thing it is that has zero Dane invariant, and he gets it down to a polyhedron that has 90-degree angles.
See, I love this about math. What he's doing with two-dimensional things was kind of cool, kind of a party trick, nothing that ground-shaking. But when you take it into 3 dimensions, that becomes pretty damn fascinating, and then you can start taking it into 4 and 5 and 6 dimensions. Well, I don't. But someone does. Because that's why I pay my geometry tax. Why is that geometry tax?
And 45-degree angles. And he needs to get rid of those 45-degree angles. And so what this polyhedron does is it allows you to get rid of those 45-degree angles one at a time. Because what do? You have your existing polyhedron and you chop a bit of volume off somewhere, which is enough to produce this thing, and then you can glue this 45-degree angle to an existing 45-degree angle you have, and combined they make a 90-degree angle. And so you can reduce the number of 45-degree angles by 1 by using this. One last thing, can you make this kind of polyhedron where the extra angle is not just 45 degrees, but some other angle? So it turns out by a result of Jessen that the one non-90-degree angle can be anything as long as its cosine is an algebraic number. So there you go, that's it. Thanks for watching.
Oh, I want to pause you. That's kind of maddening. His picture for his channel is a really cool thing. This is a, I see you answered. I gotta wake my phone screen up, even though it is plugged in, so I can read what you said. Sounded fine. All right, great. I appreciate that, Heath. This thing here, it's a 3D printed sphere, and when you put a light at just the right distance, it casts that perfect square shadow, that square grid on the table. And he's got a bunch of those things. This guy does the kind of stuff that I dream about having the background and skill set and not having dyscalculia to work on. I mentioned these before because I don't have anything to show you. The bottoms of the injectors alias you set this command to be of speak does not exist. Strangeness? Yeah, okay, you understand that too. Note to self, work on Nightbot. I don't know what that's about. I thought, first of all, that doesn't sound like something Heath would type, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, so, yeah, this, I've had ideas like, I got it, Pepto-Bismol bottle, here we go. Put it on a table and you roll it, and if it's a true Rouleau triangle, your hand doesn't bump up and down, and you can do it with any odd number regular polygon. Well, I mean, after about 11, it becomes a circle basically. But and this is that taken into 3 dimensions. So I like this kind of stuff. Well, I had a little chicken and it wouldn't lay an egg. And every day about this time they drive by and it slaps a schmeg. Oh, this isn't. I've lost my. There it is. I tell you what, man. YouTube was kind of crappy but good, and then for a little while, even after Google acquired it, it got better and better, and boy, yeah, not so much anymore. Let's find something a little less technical. When you only sing in F sharp, George Collier. Have I put a like?
I've been having a little problem recently, which is quite disturbing, involving a semi-total discrepancy, vocally and instrumentally. You see, musicians of different varieties prefer playing in particular keys, and singers too treat preferentially those notes they tackle more proficiently. Now, you don't have to be a member of Mensa to understand the depth of my dilemma. The 2 elements of me favor 2 different keys, thus the rift betwixt my fingers and my tenor. I like nothing more than playing instruments in F. It warms the very cockles of my heart. The trouble is that F can leave me vocally bereft, you see. I like playing in F major. Singing in F sharp, F sharp.
This is far apart.
I refuse to be beholden to my hands. I don't see why my larynx should give in to their demands. I'll not be forced to compromise my art. And so I'll just keep playing in F major and singing in F sharp, F sharp, F sharp.
Clever and funny.
I'll keep playing.
I want to say.
Hi. Yes. Hello. And welcome back to the
Hello.
Millennial Movie Monday. If you're new here, hi. My name is Ashley, and if you're a returner,
Why do I have a reaction on my React playlist? Maybe it's not. I don't know. He did the musical. I keep thinking the name Coraline, which is not right. It's Madeline? I'm drawing a blank. Tim Minchin. There's a musical. And it's well known amongst the haves. get me started on haves and have-nots on musicals, on Broadway shows. If it hadn't been for the pandemic, you know what? That's not actually sort of true about or maybe it is. Hamilton filmed before the pandemic started, but when the lockdown happened, I think maybe that lit the fire under Disney to stream it. And I'm damn glad that it did, because it's an amazing piece of work, and not perfect. Like the country it describes, it's not perfect, but it's damn good. Yeah, so I'll never be able to afford to go to New York, let alone pay for a Broadway ticket. The 2 days, the 2 nights that I was in London 30-something years ago, I saw a show each time, and I saw it on the reasonably cheap. If you rock up and see what's, I guess, unsold seats or something. I was exhausted from walking around. They stopped letting me ride the tube for having a place to sit down. London, you don't sit down unless you are paying to eat in a restaurant, and they will chase you out when they think you're done. And they think you're done. Anyway, I was tired, so I was leaning against the wall. And lady came up to me and got sort of uncomfortably close. She was pretty, but strangely close. And she said, "Do you know why I'm here?" And I said, "To see the play?" She said, "Yes." And when I didn't say anything, didn't know what to say, she went off and bought tickets. She thought I was scalping tickets, is the best I can figure out. So I don't understand it wasn't sold out or anything. But that was not fascinating. The first show I saw in London was Chess, and the British version is infinitely better than the American version. I shouldn't say infinitely. They changed a few songs. The changes are bad. I think I may have found one change that I thought was good. So yeah, if you ever consume Chess, just the music, or if you can get your hands on a video, let me know, because I'd like to see it. Yeah, it's time for somebody, and not Fathom Events, because come on, Fathom, you're showing me a movie that, yeah, I'd like to see on a big screen. Granted, it's a good idea. That's the only reason we're having this conversation, you and me. You can't charge $90 a ticket. But it should be possible to go. It should be possible to go and attend a live performance in another city. Live streamed. You know, there's a delay, but that's fine. And this does happen. It happened quite a bit during COVID lockdown. But it needs to happen more. There are some shows hitting Broadway that I really, really desperately want to see, and I will not live to see a Broadway show. I've already died once, and I hadn't seen a Broadway show before that, so proof. Done and dusted. Yeah, so alright. I have to keep finding my This is all over the things. I need to make a better playlist because some of the stuff makes no sense to watch here. You're not lazy. How to live a chaotically organized life. Joe Scott's a local boy. Here we go. Music and Mandelbub 3D fractals. Oh, the music may actually be a problem. May cause a copyright strike. I can't get my arrow off the screen. Well, you're not seeing that, so it'll work. So these are fractals in 3 dimensions. I've messed with Mandelbulb a very little. The accessible forms of it are quite limited, but this is kind of great. I think this one just goes by too fast. Oh boy. Hopefully before too long I will have some animated videos of my own that I can play maybe during the just chatting moments. Let me get rid of the arrow. Thank you. Looks like computer circuitry quite a bit, but also like cities, very monotonous, repetitive cities. Although sort of not, because you could just look up and see the mind-breaking fractal curves. Yes, I have dyscalculia, which is basically dyslexia with numbers. But I'm fascinated by math, or maths for my rest of the world English-speaking viewers. One math professor, John Allen Paulos, in the foreword to a book called Beyond Numeracy, I believe it was that one. He said if we taught music in this country the way we teach math in this country, and granted this was maybe 30 years ago when he wrote the book, hopefully it's gotten better a little bit, but he said if we taught music the way we teach math, you would be 3 years playing arpeggios and scales and learning all the crusty E sharp major stuff before you ever played Mary Had a Little Lamb. Before you ever knew what music was for, we would be making you hate it the way they did with math for me. If I'd seen a fractal, not even this kind of advanced thing, some of the simplest, earliest fractals, if a teacher had the chance to show me fractals when I was young, I would have figured out a way. And I make fractals all day, every day. I make them frequently. And fortunately, the computer helps with most of the computation. Alright, this is sort of cool, but I want to see what maybe else lies. ultrasound sticker. Oh, still got it on low speed.
Skin and can provide continuous ultrasound imaging of internal organs for 48 hours. The current design requires connecting the stickers to instruments that translate the reflected sound waves into images. However, if the devices can be made to operate wirelessly, a goal the team is currently working toward, the ultrasound stickers could be made into wearable imaging products that patients could take home from a doctor's office or even buy at a pharmacy. The entire ultrasound sticker measures about 2 square centimeters across and 3 millimeters thick, about the area of a postage stamp. The bottom elastomer layer is designed to stick to the skin, while the top layer adheres to a rigid array of transducers the team also designed and fabricated. This pairing of stretchy adhesive layers with a rigid array enables the device to conform to the skin while remaining in position to generate clear, precise images. The device's bottom adhesive layer is made from 2 thin layers of elastomer that encapsulate a middle layer of solid hydrogel. The elastomer layers prevent dehydration of the hydrogel. According to the researchers, only when hydrogel is highly hydrated can acoustic waves penetrate effectively and give high-resolution imaging of internal organs. The researchers ran the ultrasound...
Hang on. You can hydrate hydrogel? I mean, I guess that makes sense. The way you make hydrogel is by dehydrating the hydrogel. It's cool stuff. It's sort of like Jell-O that's been allowed to dry out, or maybe more to the point, freeze dried, so that there's almost nothing left. They call it solid smoke, because when you pick up a piece, you can kind of tell that there's something there, but the edges and stuff are very, very subtle, very hard to make out with your eyes. Anyway, so that freaked me out that hydrogel was involved, and then it freaked me out that they were hydrating it, because it's like, aren't we back to gel? I'm curious why make the jump from gel to hydrogel back to hydrated hydrogel.
Sticker through a battery of tests with healthy volunteers who wore the stickers on various parts of their bodies. The stickers stayed attached to their skin and produced clear images of underlying structures for up to 48 hours. As the researchers work to make their design completely wireless, they point out that even in their current form, an immediate application could include continuously imaging internal organs of patients in hospitals without requiring a technician to hold a probe in place for long periods of time, while continuing to reapply the necessary liquid gel, which acts to transmit ultrasound waves.
And when they do that to you, the gel they apply is cold AF. Cold as foretold. Hey, here's a reminder, everybody. Like and subscribe. If by somehow you are seeing this, drop me a like, drop me a, what do you call? Like and subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitch. Subscriptions on Twitch are not worth it. You're not doing me much of a favor. You're not doing yourself much of a favor. You're doing Jeffrey Bezos a tremendous favor. I'm not saying don't do it. If you are a Prime, Amazon Prime person, you can do it for free. Just pop in once a month and do it. But at this point, even that won't help me. Probably won't help Bezos, but yeah, there's just no point to it. I'm not partnered or whatever you call it, monetized with Twitch, nor will I be, because I am live streaming on 2 platforms. I think you can do multiple platforms, it's just they are jealous about YouTube. Steampunk phone case with real terrarium. Teacup holster. Oh yeah, that was neat. Lost wax. I wish he'd get active again. Strong web shooter. Here's a thought. Okay, all right, put a like on it. This guy's cool. He makes some. He makes things from comic books and movies and various extraordinary things. Tries to make them as real as possible. A lot of people are making web shooters from Spider-Man world that are that size. And you know, they can shoot out a really strong filament with a magnet, and they can then tug something and they fall over. Yay, I can knock this thing off of a building if it's magnetic and teetering on the side of a building. My point is, we need Spider-Man. Except we don't. We need part of Spider-Man. Walking up walls, fun. Strong, fun. Fast, agile, all that stuff. All that sort of fun. Whatever. The web shooter's what we need. And it doesn't need to be tiny. And it doesn't need to be hidden in your alter ego's sleeve. If you could make me a web spinner like Spider-Man's, even just 30% as great as Spider-Man's web shooter, that's the size of a rocket launcher, or hell, a tank, it could be so useful. On the first Invincibles movie, they shoot all those black spheres that blow up, and probably at some point cut off his air supply. Yeah, but you didn't kill him with a bullet. Mercy weapons are a passionate idea for me, although I haven't really thought of anything much better than that. When I saw The Incredibles, I was like, yeah, that's the kind of thing. Because I wanted to web technology into the real world, and like I said, to me it never had to be in that form factor. I don't know. I guess I wanted it to be on the form factor until I got to thinking about it. I was like, you know, there are people you want to subdue who are having a bad day and don't deserve to die, and their families don't deserve to lose a family member. But if you can subdue them without killing them, that's worth a hell of a lot of research and development. And with my gun, I thought it was my taser. I don't know. Maybe it feels similar enough that. Oh, network error. If you're still seeing me, I'm gonna have to crimp this off. The stream's gone bad on me. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for watching the video on demand. Sorry I didn't really get up to any art or even show and tell. Please try me again Thursday at 5 p.m. Texas time. That's the same as Chicago time, Central time, daylight mingling. So, bye-bye everybody.